rivalry win and just do it with my guys in front of these fans.
Tell you what, Con can nibble from
The 2025 NBA draft was supposed to belong to one name and one name only: Cooper Flagg. From the moment the college basketball season began, the entire basketball world revolved around him. Analysts called him the next great American superstar. Scouts labeled him the most complete freshman Duke had ever seen, and media outlets compared his potential impact to legendary one-and-done phenoms like Zion Williamson and Carmelo Anthony. Some even went as far as saying he was the greatest white American prospect since Larry Bird. A comparison that carried enormous weight considering Bird's legendary influence on the game. Every storyline, every mock draft, and every highlight package centered around Flagg as the inevitable face of the future NBA. And to be fair, he wasn't alone in the spotlight. The 2025 class was loaded with elite talent. Prospects like VJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, and Dylan Harper entered the draft cycle with massive expectations of their own. Each possessed the kind of athleticism, scoring versatility, and modern skill set scouts drool over: jumbo guards who could create offense at all three levels, explosive wings capable of defending multiple positions, and polished scorers built perfectly for the pace-on-space era of basketball. On paper, this draft class looked destined to be defined by high-flying athleticism and superstar ceilings. But only a few months into the NBA season, the narrative flipped completely. Instead of the projected superstars dominating headlines, the league found itself captivated by a different Duke Blue Devil, a player who wasn't the #1 pick, wasn't even considered the most talented player on his own college team, and, according to many scouts, had one of the lowest ceilings among the top 5 selections. That same player is now the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. And if someone had predicted before the draft that the best rookie to come out of Duke wouldn't be Cooper Flagg but his running mate, most fans would have laughed at the idea. Yet that is exactly where the NBA finds itself today. Thanks to the unbelievable rise of 6'7" rookie sensation Con Canapel, a player fans are already daring to compare to one of the greatest shooters in basketball history, Klay Thompson. At first glance, the comparison almost sounds absurd. Klay Thompson represents elite efficiency, flawless off-ball movement, and one of the purest shooting forms the game has ever seen. But as Canapel's rookie season has unfolded, the similarities have become harder and harder to ignore. His calm demeanor, lightning-quick release, intelligent positioning, and ability to impact winning without dominating the ball have forced analysts to rethink everything they believed about NBA success, which raises an important question. How is a player widely labeled as slow, unathletic, and physically average dominating at the highest level of basketball? Because Con Canapel doesn't play like a modern superstar. He doesn't overwhelm defenders with explosive athleticism. He isn't blowing past opponents with elite speed or soaring above the rim with jaw-dropping vertical leaps. His game looks simple, almost old-fashioned, and yet, night after night, he produces winning basketball at a historic pace. His rookie campaign is already flirting with record-breaking territory, and his journey is shaping into one of the most compelling underdog stories the modern NBA has ever seen. Even Hall of Fame shooter Reggie Miller, one of the greatest marksmen in league history, has boldly suggested that Canapel could one day challenge Stephen Curry's all-time three-point record, a statement that once would have sounded ridiculous, but now sparks genuine debate. To truly understand how Con Canapel became one of the most shocking success stories in recent basketball history, you have to start long before the NBA lights, long before Duke University, and long before anyone outside Wisconsin even knew his name, because basketball wasn't just something Canapel played, it was embedded in his DNA. Born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Con grew up surrounded by the game. His father was a college basketball star in Wisconsin and remains his school's all-time leading scorer. Competition wasn't optional in the Canapel household, it was part of daily life. Con and his brothers became local legends in 3-on-3 tournaments, earning the nickname the Flying Canapel Brothers as they traveled across regional competitions, showcasing their chemistry and competitive fire. But the basketball lineage didn't stop there. On his mother's side, the legacy continued just as strongly. She starred at Wisconsin Green Bay and also finished her career as her school's all-time leading scorer. Even Con's uncle played college basketball at Wisconsin Green Bay before eventually reaching the NBA, where he spent time with the Milwaukee Bucks. In most families, one accomplished basketball player would be remarkable. In the Canapel family, elite performance was simply the standard. From an early age, it became clear that Con possessed something different. While other kids relied purely on athletic gifts, he developed an advanced understanding of spacing, timing, and decision. He learned how to read defenses before he could even drive a car. Hours spent watching film with family members sharpened his basketball IQ to a level far beyond his peers. Yet despite his pedigree, the path ahead was anything but smooth. Con attended Wisconsin Lutheran High School, where he played all 4 years instead of transferring to a national powerhouse program, a decision that limited national exposure but strengthened his identity as a player. Each season, his production improved dramatically. By his senior year, he averaged 26.4 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game while leading his team to an undefeated 1-3-0 record and a state championship run. His dominance earned him Wisconsin's Mr. Basketball Award, a prestigious honor recognizing the best player in the state. Still, skepticism followed him everywhere. Recruiting rankings told a confusing story. Rivals.com ranked him 9th in his class. 247 Sports placed him at 18th. ESPN listed him even lower and labeled him only a 4-star recruit instead of a 5-star prospect. Scouts acknowledged his skill but questioned his athleticism. In an era obsessed with versatility and physical upside, Carmelo appeared too ordinary. He wasn't a towering point forward. He wasn't an explosive slasher. He didn't possess elite speed or jaw-dropping highlight plays. Compared to prospects described as positionless weapons, Con looked unfairly basic. Many college programs recruited him as a long-term developmental player rather than a future NBA lottery pick. Schools like Alabama, Virginia, USC, Wisconsin, and Notre Dame all pursued him, expecting he would stay multiple years in college, refining his game. That's why his decision shocked everyone. Instead of staying close to home at Wisconsin, Carmelo committed to Duke University, joining a star-studded recruiting class headlined by Cooper Flagg and other 5-star prospects. Most fans assumed he would come off the bench or serve as a complimentary shooter, but from the moment he stepped onto campus, perceptions began to change. In his collegiate debut, Carmelo dropped 22 points, immediately securing a starting role. Coaches quickly realized his value extended far beyond shooting. He adapted seamlessly from being a high-usage high school star to an elite off-ball weapon, mastering spacing, cutting, and efficient scoring within Duke's system. While Flagg dominated headlines as the team's centerpiece, Carmelo became the perfect complementary force. He moved constantly without the ball, punished defensive mistakes, and displayed a maturity rarely seen in freshmen. His efficiency became his signature. Game after game, he delivered standout performances. Against Miami, he scored 25 points on 9 of 11 shooting, draining 6 3-pointers with surgical precision. In Duke's heated rivalry matchup against North Carolina, he produced one of his most complete games, scoring, facilitating, and defending at a level that silenced doubters. Then everything changed late in the season, when Cooper Flagg suffered an injury heading into the ACC tournament. Duke suddenly needed someone else to lead. Many believed the team's championship hopes were finished. Instead, Carmelo elevated his game to another level. He carried Duke through the ACC tournament with performances that transformed his NBA draft stock overnight. In the quarterfinals against Georgia Tech, he recorded 28 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, controlling the game from start to finish. In the semifinals against North Carolina, he delivered another clutch performance, guiding Duke into the championship game despite overwhelming pressure. By the time Duke captured the ACC title with Carmelo posting 18 points, 8 rebounds, and multiple key defensive plays, scouts could no longer ignore him. He was named ACC Tournament MVP, proving he could lead a team, not just complement one. March Madness only strengthened his case. Duke advanced deep into the tournament behind the combined brilliance of Flagg and Carmelo, with Con repeatedly delivering efficient scoring performances under immense pressure. Though Duke ultimately fell short of a national championship after a heartbreaking final for collapse, Carmelo's postseason run erased lingering doubts about his competitiveness and composure. By season's end, he averaged 14.4 points while shooting an elite 48% from the field, 42% from 3, and 92% from the free throw line, numbers that screamed NBA readiness. Yet skepticism remained. Critics argued he fit the stereotype of past Duke shooters who excelled in college but struggled against NBA athleticism. Many believed his ceiling was limited, a reliable role player rather than a future star. With the 4th overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets selected Carmelo. The reaction was immediate controversy. Charlotte's history of draft struggles made fans nervous. The franchise had a long reputation for mismanaging talent, and many analysts predicted Carmelo would become another cautionary tale, a safe but unspectacular player surrounded by future all-stars drafted after him. What followed instead has rewritten expectations entirely. From Summer League redemption to historic rookie performances, Carmelo has transformed from overlooked prospect into one of the most compelling young stars in basketball, a player redefining what success in the modern NBA actually looks like. And remarkably, his story is still only beginning.